Who else is excited for the weekend? Oh my goodness. I definitely am. But, um, but you're all here supposedly because you want to hear about dog parkour, and I'm excited to tell you. So let me. Yes, CK, adjusting a chair is a technical issue. I don't know. It wasn't that straightforward. Anyway, for for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jennifer Malloway. I am a dog trainer, and of course, I'm here today to tell you about the sport of dog parkour. And let me start by saying that when I first heard about this sport, it was kind of funny because I realized that I was already doing like little bits of the sport with Dizzy, and I was teaching other people to do this because it can improve your regular walks with your dog. And so I heard about the sport and I looked into the organization and I started working with Dizzy in a more organized way on his earning his novice title. So this is cool because this is it's a non-competitive sport, but you can earn titles all the way from training to novice to expert and champion, just like in other sports. So it gives you a little sense of achievement without having to be a super competitive person, which I'm not. So we've been working on his novice title, and we're about there. I think we only have one or two more videos to make. And if you want to get an idea of what the novice behaviors and the videos can look like, those are available on my YouTube channel under parkour submissions, obviously. And so you can check those out if you're interested. But so I've been doing this with Dizzy for a while, and I started to see the benefits of it, and I decided that I would really like to teach other people how to participate in the sport, and share those benefits, and so other people can have a lot of fun with it too. I also so I started I want to make sure I'm doing it right, and by the book, because I think that they're doing a really good thing. The dog parkour organization, called International Dog Parkour Association, and so I just signed up and started taking this instructor course, and so that I can do a better job of bringing you the benefits and the education for you and your dog. So yeah. So that'll be exciting. And if you think you might at all be interested and you want to hear about when my course comes out, the link to just get notified when the course is available should be in the description below. And then, of course, if you like the information I'm sharing and you would like to support the channel, you are always invited to subscribe to the channel, like the page, share the videos. Really, really, really helps me out and is very much appreciated. So let's dig in, shall we? So first of all, not everybody's familiar with the world of dog sports. Honestly, it's all pretty new to me. This is, I had kind of, I know of other dog sports. I know a little bit about them, but I just thought, it wasn't really my jam until I heard about dog parkour. But maybe this is your first introduction to it at all. So let me just tell you a little bit that like there's so many options, right? Of sports that you can participate in that are all designed around the natural skills and abilities of dogs, and they're great. They're all great for bonding with your dog. They're great exercise and enrichment for your dog. And they, you can choose one based on your interests and your dog's interests, and so it's a pretty cool world out there. And participating in a dog sport it's such a great activity for you and your dog to do together outside of your typical walks, fetch, tug, which are amazing also. But if you're the type of person who wants to just do do more, you like getting into clubs and interacting with other people in that way. Really awesome for that. So what are some of those sports? Most people have maybe heard of agility. That seems to be the like a buzzword. It's the one that's most commonly talked about. And there's a lot of agility clubs out there, and so agility is pretty popular. There's also competition obedience and rally and musical freestyle, which actually I thought that Dizzy and I would get into, but it's his reactivity might be a problem for us there, which I didn't really plan on, but oh well. There's nose work, which is amazing. Another one that I would be interested in getting into. Just using your dog's nose, and there are even more specific applications of that, like tracking and search and rescue, which are really cool if you like to give back in that sort of way. Then there's dock diving and barn hunt and earth dog and schutzhund and herding and tribal and flyball and lure coursing, and I'm not even hitting all of them, not by a long shot. There's a lot of dog sports out there, which is pretty cool. And a good many of, like, if we had a what's a Venn diagram, and a circle with all of the dog sports, a good many of them have been around for quite a while. And they may carry with them some of the more traditional mindsets around training dogs, meaning they bring along the language and the training methods, the paradigms that don't necessarily keep the dog's welfare at the forefront, which sounds kind of funny because it's a dog sport. You'd think it's all about the dog, but as you know, if you've been listening to me over the past couple months, a lot of dog training methods that are still common, although fading, they're not really the best thing for your dog, and in turn for you. And so, but yeah. So a lot of the dog sports, they've been around a while, and it's just still in the culture. And there's nothing in any of these sports that inherently requires that you use those old methods by any means. And you can participate in any of these sports using all positive reinforcement, and just caring for your dog in that way. And in fact, there are lots of trainers who are participating in these sports. They're amazing trainers, and they're out there doing that work of shifting perceptions, and that's beautiful. It's such a wonderful thing. But it just means that, like, today it's just a little bit less likely that you're going to stumble upon the trainers that are going to be there to provide you good guidance, and that's at the level of your standards for your dog. You can find them, absolutely. If you're interested in looking into any of those sports, I definitely encourage you to just make sure you find a trainer who is going to go all positive reinforcement, and help you along your journey that way. So let's get back to parkour, because the way my perception is that parkour is different in a lot of key ways. And one of those ways is that it's a relatively new sport. And it's because it's so new, and because it was started by a couple of positive reinforcement trainers, one of whom is also a vet, and who also participate in human parkour. They're able to start the sport from the ground up with an entirely positive reinforcement based culture and set of values, which is super cool. And so yeah, it means that as part of their foundation, it includes just being more cognizant of the environment and how your dog is doing, and caring for your dog's physical and emotional welfare, which is just it's really special and really cool to see in a dog sport. Now, The other thing that's different about this sport than many of the others, not all, but many, is that it's accessible to any dog and human pair, regardless of physical ability. There's a path for everybody, from the itty bitty puppy to the geriatric dogs. Anybody can participate. Um, it doesn't require any extreme attributes. So it's just accessible, which I think is really cool. Just that being inclusive, and yeah, I think that's really awesome. Let's see. The other thing is, as I've mentioned before, it's non-competitive. So in a lot of sports, it is about the competition, and you're having to compete against other dogs, other dog and human teams. Whereas parkour is entirely focused on the dog and human team and just your journey together. So you're not comparing yourself to anybody else. You're just comparing yourself to where you were the day before, right? It's a beautiful journey. And when one of the things that I love most about just my journey of learning about behavior and training and learning and dogs, is that it's forgiving. Learning isn't a straight line. There's going to be ups and downs, and being okay with that is, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing for all of us to learn, because we're not always that nice to ourselves. Hey, Paul. So yeah, it's the focus on the journey is just, I think, really, really special. So yeah, that's how I see parkour being different from other dog sports. I like I said before, I encourage anybody to get involved in any dog sport. It's just a really great way to provide some really robust exercise and enrichment for your dog. It's really going above and beyond as a dog owner, to do this sort of thing, and just to see the dogs enjoying the process. And I'm talking about any sport here is part of why we love it. It's just making our dogs happy, really, right? I mean, I had a moment like this, not dog sport related, but I had a moment like this today because it started snowing last night, and we actually have some snow accumulation today, which is the first time that I've seen snow in several years, and the first time that little Dizzy over here has ever seen snow. So to get to see him like running around and just being like overjoyed at the novelty of it and the excitement, like that's what we love about being dog owners, right? It's just getting to make them happy. That's how I feel. CK says, says, every time you say parkour, I see the scene from The Office when Michael Scott and Dwight Schrute get into parkour. I love that scene, and I probably will think that every time I say it too. Yes, Jason Dizzy did have a blast, and every time we open the door now, it's the same thing. It's awesome. So yeah, getting just bringing joy to our dogs, right? It's awesome. So yeah, and CK, it's funny, like, because I didn't really know anything about human parkour other than from The Office too. Like that was, I mean, I maybe had seen like a video clip here and there, and it, to me, it just looked like, well, it's just a bunch of kids like jumping around the city, right? Like, and that's exactly what Michael and Dwight looked like. But I learned in this dog parkour class a little bit about the history, and you guys, it just made me fall even more in love with the sport. It's really cool. So they talk about like the group that started human parkour in the beginning, and they have a list of these values that they want to imbue the sport with, and so I'll share those with you now. So one, I've touched on, and it is that it is about the journey, right? It's about the process. It's not about just reaching a certain goal. It's really about how you grow along the way, which is, I mean, that's just always going to be a positive thing in my opinion. But another one is, it's about building the foundations of confidence. You don't just flip a switch and go from being timid to being confident. Like it just doesn't happen that way. And so it's all about kind of growing in confidence along the way, and that's one value that they've carried over into the dog parkour sport. Is that bit about confidence. I'll get back to that in a moment. But they also have a few sayings that they that carry a lot of meaning in human parkour. One of them is once is never, meaning that just because you can do something once doesn't mean that it's repeatable. And if it's not repeatable, it's not really useful, is it? So you have to be able to do something more than once to really feel like you got it, which is something that, like, I'm like, this is dog training. Exactly. This is what we talk about in classes all the time. Just because the dog's done it once doesn't mean that he knows it, that you have to repeat it. The next one is, so this started in France, so that's in French, être fort pour être utile. I hope I'm saying that right. Which means to be strong is to be useful. So kind of going along with that same idea, it's if it's a weak behavior, it's not going to come in handy. It's not going to be useful to you in your journey. And then finally, power is nothing without control, which again, it's along the same lines. Like you can have a lot of power, but it has to be under control in order to be useful. So these are these human parkour values, and they have come up with a set of values for the sport of dog parkour too. And number one, of course, is going to be safety, which speaks for itself. We don't want to be putting ourselves or our dogs in situations where people could get hurt, because that ruins the fun for everybody. And of course, value number two is having fun. This sport is all about fun. Like if at any point along the journey you're not having fun or your dog's not having fun, you just stop, and that is that. Like this is speaking to me, like, on a deep level, because I find myself saying these things all the time just about any dog training. It should be fun. Like even the like obedience stuff, if it's not fun for you, take a break, come back to it later, come back to it when it's fun, because dog training shouldn't be a drag. It really shouldn't, and neither should participating in a sport with your dog. Yes, so safety, fun, confidence, like I said, carried over from the human bit, or the human parkour, and finally is let dogs choose. And we talk a lot about giving dogs a choice, letting dogs choose, again, in any type of training, and it's especially valuable here. But I think it really speaks to, or it can really show people how valuable giving them a choice is. I sometimes find it a little bit hard to explain, like, why giving them a choice is so important, because it seems like, when people seek training for dogs, like, you just want your dog to be a good dog. It's like, well, I am the boss and you are the employee and you should just do what I say. That's kind of like how I hear people talking about it. But what's just funny is, like, when we frame things as giving a dog a choice, instead of saying, I'm teaching him a command, we teach him, I'm teaching you a cue, or better yet, I'm giving you a request. I ask the dog to sit, I don't tell them to sit. And when you kind of bring this reframe into your whole relationship with your dog, something opens up, and it's it's just really cool to see how much more they're willing to participate with you. So, and how they've outlined this in the sport of dog parkour is that letting them choose, one, keeps them safe, because if they don't feel like they're capable of doing something in a particular moment, they're not going to do it. And if we don't force them, it keeps them safe. And what's really cool is a lot of times, you can come back to the same situation later after they have had more experience, as part of this journey, and they may feel differently. They may feel more confident the second or third or fourth time around. So it keeps them safe. It opens up this two-way communication with you and your dog, which is what training is all about, is communicating with them. And it improves their willingness to try. So when they feel like they have a choice, they are more willing to try. If you're standing on the edge of a pool and you're not comfortable with swimming, or maybe the water's just too cold and you're like not ready, you're like you're gearing up but you're not there yet, you're much more likely to jump in your own terms, or at least feel better about it, than if somebody just came up and pushed you in, right? Like it's not going to be a good experience, or it may not. It just feels better when things are on your terms, and that is true for us, for our dogs too. And then finally, giving them a choice again can help come back to that confidence piece. And confidence is just, we want our dogs to be confident. Confident dogs make better choices. They're able to think more clearly. You just trust me, you want a confident dog. And then also it's something important for us to balance that confidence with thoughtfulness, right? Going back to the power is nothing without control, right? It's about getting our dogs to, think through situations, be confident, but be able to reason through it. And that's something that's really hard to like drill down and talk about in concrete terms. But when you see it in action, it's really cool. And yeah, so with all of those combined, the way I see it, when I first heard it laid out like that, was like, so basically the foundation of this sport is that it's just about really thoughtful, really positive training with the dog's welfare in mind, and building trust and bonding, along this journey together with your dog. Like, how cool is that? Like, I don't know. If you ask me, it doesn't get much better than that. So I'm very excited to get to learn, to continue on mine and Dizzy's journey, and to share with you guys if you're interested. So do you guys have questions so far? I kind of wanted to dig into a little bit of the history and the background first, but maybe you would like to know what it actually is. What does it actually involve? So as I said, if you want to participate in the sport formally, there's the different levels, and I can speak to the novice level because we've been working on that, and it starts off with some basics, some just like foundation behaviors that, like I said, I've been teaching this anyway because it's really helpful just for every dog and human team. Behaviors like putting 4 feet on something. Can you put your body on an object or in a certain place? Is Dizzy going to model some parkour techniques for us? Yeah, we could. That was part of the tech issues earlier. It's like I've got the GoPro set up, and I think it might be working now, but like I don't know what was happening earlier. I don't know where my countdown video went. I don't even know what happened. I thought I left to get that chair, and I thought that maybe Dizzy did something. He's been getting into trouble. He ate my soup this morning, which is not his fault, but but yeah, I can have Dizzy model some of the basic stuff. We've got room. We've got a couple things in here we could use. some of them being, 4 feet on. Like I said, you want a dog to be able to jump on, step or jump onto an object. And differentiate from 2 feet on, which, just means put their front paws on something. To be able to do those two onto a moving obstacle where the dog has to put 4 or 2 paws on something and like be able to balance and kind of adjust their balance based on something that's moving. They have to. These are all like. Are these adverbs? Oh my gosh. I gotta go back to English class. But basically, it's teaching your dog to navigate under, through, in, on top of stuff in their environment. They also have to to go over and around, and they have to balance on walking across something. They have to learn to back up and to wait on an obstacle, which is something most of us try and teach our dogs, early on too, is a wait or a stay. And then it gets fun. You have to start combining these into sequences. So either do 3 obstacles in a row or find one obstacle and do different behaviors with it. So these are the novice behaviors, and like I said, each level it gets a little bit harder and they add some behaviors. And so what this ends up looking like is, you could start training at home. You can learn most of these in your living room, and your dog is learning, and then you take it out on the road, right? So with the training or the novice level, you can pass the level with most, I think all but 3 can be indoors. But the idea is, as you progress through your parkour journey, that you're doing these obstacles with doing these behaviors with obstacles that are naturally occurring or just found in the environment, on a hike, in the city, wherever you find yourself to be, which is another reason that parkour is so cool, is that it's just so accessible, right? You can do it anywhere. And there's no you don't have to travel to an event. There's no crowded venues. So it's accessible to dogs who aren't a fan of large crowds, or maybe aren't a fan of other dogs, like so and so. So yeah, you adjust it for the level and the needs of you and your dog, which again, like, why it's so cool. CK says, oh wow, cool, my Cusco strained his back. His therapist had him balance, walk, and sit on different sized yoga like balls, and those half circle balance things. Yeah, I mean, those are great. And they make great obstacles to start doing this stuff with too. So it's like, it's just so accessible. And you progress when you're ready, if you're ready. And even, no matter how little or how much you do, like, it gets you doing more with your dog. And one of the other benefits I find is that because they encourage you to be using found or naturally occurring obstacles, it gets us outside. It gets, and our dogs, which they appreciate, but it gets us outside more and exploring more, which is really good for those of us who maybe have anxiety, like, or if, any issues, like, getting outside is good for us. Like, we know that, but sometimes we need a reason, and this is just a really good way to get out there, bring our dogs along, because they love that. And also, because you're working outside with your dogs, they learn along the way to pay more attention to you, pay more attention to their environment. Both of you, along the way, learn to see you just see your environment with new eyes. You start seeing things differently and seeing different things, and how they can be used. And it's like a whole mindset shift. for both you and your dog, and to see the way that you work together, how that improves along the journey, and to just see like how the dog's behavior when you're out and about changes. It can be pretty special. Um, so yeah. Um, and they also, I should have put this on my list. They in the values, but they also like bake into the titles, um for you to get creative, right? And I talk a lot about like how awesome it is when our dogs get creative, but this is a really good way to like put your thinking cap on. Think, just oh, it's like brain stuff. um so yeah. So CK, let me uh, get some more light in here. I might need, and then see if I can get the GoPro working, and maybe we can show some of that stuff. Okay, is that? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, you can't hear? Really? Huh. That, the GoPro mic. See, again, it's another tech thing. I checked, it wasn't muted. um, and it was working last time. Um, yeah, Dizzy, you're gonna get some treats. Absolutely. Um, yeah, so you you can now. Yeah, it's I don't know. You guys probably know more than me about the eCam and the streaming and all those things. I could have sworn the GoPro mic should have been just good. But anyway, that my learning journey for streaming is like we're still at the very beginning. um, oh, you know what I can show you? I have a couple videos of this. So the like the really cool parkour behavior that's not included in the novice level, but we started working on it anyway. I have a couple videos of not our very early training, but some steps beyond. These are not good videos. I'm almost embarrassed to show you, but I will. Um, yeah, does he? He's like, oh wait, we're training because we don't do a lot in this room actually. So he's probably like, what's happening, you know? And that's the thing is like where you train is where your behaviors will be strongest, which is another benefit of doing parkour training is that you train in so many different areas that the dogs learn to generalize better when and you get more focus and engagement when you're out and about, which is what everybody wants from their dog. So yeah, he's he's funny that way. But yeah, okay. So this videos I'm going to show you the behavior that I'll explain first is it's called a tic tac or a rebound, and it's where a dog jumps up and then makes contact with like a vertical or up to like 45-degree angle surface, and it's just like a bounce. They just like bounce off of it and touch once with each paw. So I didn't know how we were going to get there, but we somehow figured it out on our own how to teach this behavior. So let me show you. Ooh, wait, is this going to work? Let me see. Yes. Okay. So, all right. So here's the first one. Yep. All right. Oh, that just loops. Okay. So that was like one of our steps along the way of learning how to do this rebound behavior. And I have the yoga mat on the fence because I had so that the yeah, that black platform that I had him jump on it just a second ago, I had propped that up at an angle to get him to just kind of go over that a bunch of times. And I had a yoga mat on it to provide a little bit more traction for him because if stuff is slippery, dogs are less likely to want to walk on it. So we were using the yoga mat with those lines to measure how high he was jumping. So when I got rid of the platform and transitioned to doing it on a vertical surface, I had the mat over the fence with those. I used tape to mark how high he was jumping so that I could slowly increase criteria as he was ready, and so I'll play it one more time. So yeah, you can see those lines on there, and in this one, I think he's well over. Oh yeah, so he touched the top line in that video. So yeah, and then we get rid of the yoga mat, and in the next video we were just playing around, and I have to apologize for my pasty white legs and my shorts in this video. Like I said, this was never meant to be shown to anyone, but it's the only one I have right now. So yeah, I'll just here you go. That's enough of that. um, so yeah, so we got rid of the mat and he was able to just like bounce off the fence. And what was really cool is he's like jumping way higher than he ever did with the mat there, just because it's fun. And if any of you were here on Wednesday, when we talked about discretionary effort, this is what I'm talking about. This is the dog who is going to go above and beyond, like literally above, like he's jumping higher than I ever asked of him, because I've made it fun and because I've always given him a choice. It's never forced. And that's an important component in the parkour journey, but with any training that you're doing with your dog. So that's the kind of thing that you can do. And we're not even done, right? Like this is just us goofing around. We haven't even used it in other contexts because we're not on our intermediate, we're not working on our intermediate title yet. But that's the kind of like cool stuff that dogs will just want to do. They'll want to give you more when you give them a choice all along the way. So it's a cool example, I think. So yeah, CK, did I do that all in one day, or how long did it take? Thank you. I was proud. I think it's cool too. Definitely not all in one day. This, and you could probably do it faster if we were like, for me, this was just like a fun quarantine project. So this was over probably a matter of weeks. If I had to guess, I would say like over 2 weeks that we did like the initial, like getting to the yoga mat on the fence, and then we might have taken like a few days or a week off, and then I was like, oh, let's try this again, and I was just like, where did this come from? He's just like, he's blowing me away. I'm like, wow. So it's cool stuff. And then we're just using the fence in our backyard, but you eventually have them generalize this to all these different scenarios. They can bounce off a tree. I saw a video of a dog rebounding, just like Dizzy did in that video a second ago, rebounding off of like a really, really narrow pole. And the stuff that dogs can do when they're given, a path and a choice, and the confidence that they build along the way, like, it's amazing. It really is. And you don't have to have a confident dog to start out. Like I said, this is so accessible for every dog, even the scared ones. I almost want to say, especially the scared ones. They might take longer, and you have to go at your dog's pace, but the gains that you see along the way, it's special, and especially when it's your baby, and you get to see the whole process. And the other cool thing is that because it's a sport that you participate in on your own, you take your videos, you're gonna have a record. You're gonna have this record to see your whole journey. And yeah, so so we'll be able to look back, like I said, I've got the novice videos that Dizzy and I have done so far up on YouTube. And like right now, I'm so proud, but they probably don't look like much. But next year we're gonna look back and be like, wow, like remember when we, it's so you have this record that's yours to keep, and it's just really cool. CK says, you're killing me. I want to get another doggo. Looking forward to training and building that bond again. I know the feeling, because honestly, it hasn't been that long since I've had a dog of my own. Like, I waited so long, partially because housing was tricky, and I wasn't sure, if I was going to have to move a lot, like a dog wasn't gonna, I didn't want to do that to a dog. So I was trying to make the responsible choice. But on the other hand, like, I was also like walking dogs, picking up and dropping off and going on hikes with other people's dogs. My car was full of dogs. I was boarding dogs all the time, training dogs. Like, and people told me, like, all my colleagues in the dog world, you know, most of us have our own dogs, and I felt like, well, I'm the only one who doesn't. Like, poor me, or am I not? I don't know. I kind of got down on myself, like, for all these years. But I had all these colleagues also telling me that, like, don't get a dog because your job, your work is just so much easier without your own. You don't have to worry about where your dog's going to be and how they're going to fit in, and they're, you know, it's like, so I put it off for so long, but you know, I got him less than a year and a half ago, and I am really glad I did. Like, yeah, dogs are hard work, but they change your life in a lot of good, invaluable ways. Um, and if what I've described with the parkour stuff and the training stuff has sounded cool so far, like, yeah, you got to get a dog. I mean, because it's just, I don't know, like, I find this stuff fascinating and cool, and like, I don't know, you're here, so maybe you do too. um so yeah, that is why I'm so excited about the sport of dog parkour. And so, like I said, I am starting to put together a course for those who are wanting to just get into it, that I'm hoping to have ready to go by the spring, by the time the snow melts, so that everybody will want to get outside. I want to get this out as fast as possible. But if you're interested in finding out when it's ready, the link to get notified is in the description. Ooh, oh my gosh, you guys, I almost forgot. So, I mentioned, or you saw maybe if you were here during the countdown, that my countdown dog video wasn't working today, but I've been playing around with it, and I think I'm ready to have you guys, if you've got a dog and you would like to feature your dog in the countdown video. You can't hear me. Oh my goodness. Why is this? How about that? I don't know, guys. Tech issues. I don't have my tech support here today. But hopefully this is all right. CK says, watching them learn a trick is so cool. I remember those times when Cusco would learn something new. I would get so excited and happy. Yeah. CK, tell me again, what type of dog was Cusco, and what would you get if you do get another dog? Do you have an idea of breed, age, where you'd get them from? You may have told me already, but my memory is crap. So, yes. So I have a link that I think this will work. If you guys want to send me videos of your dog for me to include in the dog countdown timer, this will be really cool. And I will put that link in the description right after. Can I do that right now? Can I? Don't know. Let's try. Let me see if I can add this link in the description. Oh, Shipu, that's right. Havanese. Oh, I love Havanese. Oh my god. Yeah, Havanese are some of my favorite dogs. And a puppy. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can put this in the video description right now. You hush. So that if anybody is watching and would like to feature your dog, I can add it into the video. Can I? No, I cannot. Wait a minute. Yes. Okay. Here we go. All right. Feature your dog. And one more. I'm going to put both of them in here. Get notified of the parkour class. is at jennifermalloway.com/dog parkour sign up. Save. Okay, cool. So yeah, so I just think it would be really special for those of you who've been watching and would like to see your own dogs in there. Like, this would be really fun. So I'm hoping this works. This is the first time I'll be trying it out, and as you know, I may have some technical difficulties, but you guys will let me know if something's not working right. I hope. Okay, I gotta add it on YouTube and Facebook. And Jennifer, be quiet. Okay. Wait. Can I edit? Can I edit on YouTube? The description while it's happening? I don't know. Oh wait. Yes. I'm not that dumb. Got it. Okay. Feature your dog. There we go. Okay. It is there. Send me your puppy and dog videos. It should say in the form, there's a few requirements. Obviously, we want the videos to be high quality so that we can see those puppies clearly. And yeah, as long as the dogs are looking happy or relaxed, we just want to see happy dogs, right? Okay, cool. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. I figured that out. But yeah, of course, if something is not working, please do let me know, because I want this to work. I think this would be so cool. Yeah. So, any questions? Otherwise, class dismissed. No. That's it, guys. Oh yeah, wait. You and Dizzy have earned extra treats today. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Our treats are probably going to be sweet potatoes because my silly diet that I'm on. I think we're gonna try and add more and transition into basically what is the Whole30 diet. That's trying to fix issues is always tricky, right? But anyway, yeah. Yum, those are good. I'm trying to figure out how to make like perfectly crispy sweet potato chips in the air fryer, but I'm not sure that that's the way I'm going to achieve that because it's not worked out so far. I mean, they're all right. I'll eat them, but yeah. Okay. Have a good weekend, Jason. Thanks for hanging out. And yeah, I think we will go get those extra treats. Oh wait, wait a minute. We have some portobello here. You tried air frying portobello mushrooms tonight? Okay, we're gonna go do that too. I think we've got some portobellos. And I was in the middle of cleaning out the fridge right before I had to go live. So cool. Wait, CK, before we go, can you tell me like how long, what temperature for the portobellos? Because like I will screw this up. I will. Yeah, I've tried. I made the sweet potato chips yesterday. I'm calling them chips, but they were not chips. They were rounds. They were just sweet potato circles. And I kind of burnt them yesterday, so I like adjusted the temperature and the time on them today, and I tried a sweet potato and a yam. And it turns out I don't remember which is which, but I like the orange ones. The other ones were more white. But they still like, I don't know. They were closer to what I wanted, but not by a whole lot. So the air fryer. I'm still learning. But yeah, I'm gonna have to learn how to use the heck out of that thing. That and the Instant Pot, because my diet is going to be quite limited for a while now, I believe. Oh, there's a preset vegetable setting. 400 for 15 minutes. That'd probably be fine for portobellos, I think, because they're gonna have less moisture in them than the sweet potatoes. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go try that. Thank you. Kitchen is just around the corner from my desk. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, we'll have to share more air fryer recipes. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you all for joining. If you have any questions, of course, about the dog parkour or about those video submissions for the countdown timer, reach out and let me know. And as always, if you enjoyed this, please like the video. Perhaps subscribe to the channel, like the page, share this stuff so that other people can find it. And you guys have a wonderful weekend. Happy Friday, and I will see you on Monday.